Yo, what's up friends? Welcome back to another psychopath exposure video. I've been getting questions from you guys for the past couple of weeks. The same question came in yesterday, and it's why does the psychopath narcissist settle for low quality supply after the discard, after they break up with us or the relationship ends? In other words, instead of targeting up, they target low-hanging fruit. And doesn't always happen this way, but it was that way in my case. And it seems like that's a common thing here in the community, so I definitely want to give you my opinion on that. Before we jump in though, I do want to say, if this is your first time in the channel, we're an anti-narcissist community. We keep things real here. We're very no-nonsense about our approach. Some of the content may be a little too extreme for some people, but I like to keep it real. I like to tell you guys the truth so you can accelerate your recovery. These psychopaths do a number on us. They are able to turn our brains into mush. So we're not going to tolerate a lot of narcissist enabling here. We're not going to tolerate a lot of giving the narcissist the benefit of the doubt at all. I've seen too many horror stories. I've lived through it myself. So if you're here, if you like the content here, definitely subscribe to the channel, drop a like on these videos, comment below with the rest of the community, because I've seen a lot of growth in the past couple of weeks. The responses that we're getting are very empowering, very encouraging, and it's definitely inspiring to continue making videos for you guys and spreading the awareness that I feel moving into 2020 is something that we're starting to see a lot more, especially in social media. These narcissists love using social media to really get a jump on us. So, but anyway, back to the topic. First of all, I do want to address the fact that grade A supply or lower grade supply, that's a little bit subjective, and at times can be a little narcissistic on our parts to think that we are the grade A supply and that after us they hooked up with someone that was trash. It's a little subjective, but I know where you guys are coming from, so I'm going to keep it from your point of view. So in my opinion, the reason why the psychopath narcissist settles for low grade supply or lower tier, low hanging fruit, like I like to call it, after the discard, if we consider ourselves to be such great supply, then that means the narcissist was being provided with high quality supply, high quality narcissistic supply. They were getting from us more than they probably even bargained for. I mean, in my situation, my psychopath ex was total garbage when I met her. Looking back now, I can see that. In the beginning, I was mesmerized by her looks, by how many things we had in common. Now I understand that the reason we had so many things in common was because of the love bombing and the mirroring and all the research that she did about me to get to know me, to get me to believe that we were meant to be soulmates or what have you. And this is how it goes with most narcissistic relationships at the beginning. However, looking back now, and all the things that I taught her, including how to properly work out. We worked a lot on fitness. I taught her how to cook healthy in particular, how to identify quality foods versus foods that were not going to benefit muscle gain. I taught her so much about fashion. I taught her so much about self-development. So in a way, it's like I kind of build up this character for their next target. So you would think that after my relationship with this psychopath demon, that they would probably target someone of much greater value than myself. And that's what I'm picking up from you guys, right? That they, with all the skills that they have now, as intelligent as these narcissists can be, they could probably seduce really amazing people. And yet, after the discard phase, after our toxic relationship with these narcissists came to an abrupt end, it seems like they just hooked up with some low-tier, uninspiring people. So in my opinion, the reason that happens, think of it this way. They're getting high-quality status, high-quality value, high-quality supply from a grade A source such as ourselves, right? So they're used to that. They're getting so much. They're getting all of their needs met. Then something goes wrong in the relationship. Some sort of narcissistic injury that we inflicted upon them, some sort of argument, or they saw weakness in us, and they were like, oh, that's it. This source is not perfect. Time to devaluate them. Time to scout some new sources, because obviously this person was not the perfect mate for me. So they go about the process of destroying, devaluing, and declining that relationship. As that relationship continues to decline and they're still in it, they're still playing this game with you, because they know that until they've secured and locked down another source of supply that's stable and that they know they can take hostage for a long time, they're going to keep you prisoner. They're going to stay in the relationship, poison dripping you, taking things away, but giving you just enough to stay, just enough hope for you to think that at some point, maybe next week, that awesome person that you remember from the beginning of the relationship will return. And the sex will be the same way it used to be. The attention you get from them will be just as top tier. The instant messages, the emojis that they would send you, all the compliments. But that never happens, does it? It never happens. What does happen is that the relationship turns into turmoil and battles, lots of arguments, a lot of bad energy, low vibrations. So it becomes a struggle for both partners, for the victim and the narcissist. The victim is struggling, trying to keep the relationship alive. The narcissist is struggling with having to constantly deflect accusations and conversations that the victim brings up in hopes of communicating and talking through the issues, working through the relationship. The narcissist hates that. They hate that, and that's why they will word salad you. That's why they gaslight you. That's why at the end of a conversation with them, you feel drained and you feel like nothing got resolved, because they will never own up to their mistakes. They will never own up to what's really going on. The reality of the destruction of that relationship will never be something that they will own up until it's completely destroyed and over and you have been discarded. So while you're in phase 2, and I did a video on phase 2, I'll put a link below, the devaluation and decline phase. You guys have to understand that's when they're totally showing you little by little who they really are. The cracks on the mask start to become more apparent. And that's when just maintaining, just keeping you as a hostage is becoming really overwhelming for them. And when it gets to the point that that relationship ends, whether they discard you or whether you realized their behavior was so unacceptable that you just had to let them go and you dumped them before the discard, they're going to lose out on a huge, huge source that they spent a lot of time building up and grooming, and now it's completely gone. And yes, they may have some flying monkeys. They may have already been targeting other people. Most likely that's what they did. Chances are they were already in another relationship, but it may not have been the perfect relationship. It may not have been one to totally eclipse who you were. It was something that they just do because it's in their nature to destroy everything that's good for them. It's in their nature to feel fulfilled watching you suffer and feeling jealous that you know they're seeing someone else, and they're showing you that they're seeing someone else by leaving pieces of evidence, but they're not confirming it. They're keeping that 1% of doubt. That's part of the gaslighting, where you actually give them the benefit of the doubt. So all this is draining. This is very draining. And you guys, if you haven't figured it out by now, these monsters, they feed off of our energy. They feed off the energy of their sources of supply. These psychopath narcissists are dead inside. For me, they're not even human. They're Terminators, okay? So they are feeding off of the fuel that they can capture and kill, kind of like a vampire. They're sucking off the blood of their victims, and then they leave their carcasses to rot and to die. When they lose a high quality grade A supply, such as ourselves, right? They are completely drained of life source. And whoever they still have around, these low-hanging fruits that they were using to cause turmoil in the relationship, that they were using to make you jealous, they were using to have sex with after they stopped having sex with you because they still need to have their needs met. They just rather, let's just say they would rather fuck some nasty rando than to have some top tier sex with you, just because it's part of their nature to destroy their victims. It's part of their nature to ruin everything good that they have worked so hard to achieve. They're gonna self-sabotage it. It's just what they do. Don't ever give them the benefit of the doubt. Don't admire them for that. Don't feel sorry for that. I'm not of that groupthink that prays for the narcissist. I'm not one of those that forgives the narcissist. Believe me, I'll make another video about this, but my psychopath took advantage of that and saw it as weakness, and they were able to use that against me. That whole forgiveness and the whole praying for them and turning it over to God, all that stuff, I did all that. I was a very spiritual person before I met this fucking devil. And those things do not work. I'll make another video. I know this is very controversial, and some of you guys may have already lost me right now when I said that. And that's fine. Everyone that I've worked with, however, has gotten their own experience and realized that this whole prayer and forgiveness type of thing, when it comes to a psychopath, does not work. This is the devil. This is not another human being. This is not a creature of God. This is the fucking spawn of hell. But I digress. Now, at the end of a grade A supply relationship that they had with us, now they've lost it all, right? They've lost that high quality supply. They've been drained of arguing with you and having to defend themselves and having to lie after lie after lie. You know, the whole pathological liar type of shit. They've had to endure that. And it's well deserved. But they've had to endure that for so long that they're fucking drained by this point. So they have like little low tiers, low hanging fruit people around them that they're just feeding because they don't have enough energy to go after that high source of supply right now. They don't have the strength even to do their research and to plot and to go through another masquerade, a full-on masquerade, after they were with us for such a long time. It's almost like they need to go and replenish their energy. They have to go to their dark cave for a long time and be alone and re-energize. And the way they re-energize is with these low tiers of supply, these low value, these people that you would even think, like, how can you go? I'll just give you an example. The best example I can give you is from my experience as usual. My ex cheated on me with a dude that was known for not taking showers in 4 to 5 days during the week. He was this dirty, dirty wannabe rocker that, you know, maybe he was a nice guy. I did meet him, obviously. I met all the people that she targeted during our relationship. That's what's funny. But they were just the complete opposite of me, and they had nothing going for them. They had no job, no careers, totally out of shape, totally unhealthy. My psychopath ex went from eating high quality steak and just an overall healthy fitness environment when we were together, and she went to someone that lived and breathed alcohol, whiskey, Taco Bell, cigarettes. It was just disgusting. That's not someone that she would see herself long term with. That was a temporary thing. So it is what it is, guys. It is what it is. We really shouldn't be looking back to see who they're dating now. That's why I always stress no contact. And if you don't know what no contact truly means, it's not just not talking to them. It's not just ignoring them if they call you. No contact involves actually committing to eliminating them from your mind, from your life, from your existence. It's not easy, and sometimes the narcissist, unfortunately, you have children with. Unfortunately, maybe you're still married and you're going through the paperwork of the divorce. So it gets tricky, but I wrote an ebook about it, so you guys can take a look at that and get some more information on no contact, so you can understand how, yeah, it's not just not taking their calls. It's not about that. I keep hearing people commenting about what their narcissist ex is doing, and how could they do that? How could they be with this person? How could they put this on Instagram? How could they be boasting this on Facebook? They're treating their new supply like if, you know, they're kings or they're queens, and that's part of the act. That's part of the smear campaign. That's part of the aftermath that the narcissist prepares for you. It's part of their trap, so that after they discard you and you're left to rot, now you're looking over their social media and you see how much better they're doing. It's a trick. It's a trick because they know you're watching. So don't do it. If you want more information about that, click on the link I put below. So you can go to my website and download the ebook straight to your phone or your computer. It's absolutely free. Memorize that. You have to live and breathe no contact. You have to live and breathe no contact. It must become your mantra. You do not let them back into your life. You do not look over. You do not look at the past. You do not look through photographs. Everything gone. It's the only way you can get them out of your head and start healing. So yeah, remember, guys, who gives a fuck who they're seeing now? That doesn't concern you. Your only concern should be to establish boundaries of no contact and recovering, moving on with your life, onto bigger and better things. You've been given an opportunity. You've dodged the bullet. Your new life starts right now. You have the opportunity to become everything you've ever wanted to become now, because you survived a narcissistic, toxic, dangerous relationship. You survived that. You got through that. That's a blessing. That's a really, really strong opportunity to make humongous changes in your life. And to be able to look back and say, wow, I slept with the devil and I lived long enough to tell the tale. So, gives a damn who they're seeing? Who gives a damn if it's grade A supply, if it's grade D supply? It doesn't matter. It's all narcissistic supply. To them, it doesn't matter. They don't look at it like grade A or grade D. To them, it's someone that's giving them what they need, helping them get to where they want to get to, and they're using that person to torture their previous victim. It's a cycle. They're going to destroy that relationship as well. I promise you that. If there's anything I can promise you, is that they will destroy that relationship as well. Do not doubt that it will happen. And that does not mean that they will break up with them or discard them. They may just have found the person weak enough to remain in a hostage situation for 10, 20 years while behind their back, they're cheating on them, hooking up with all sorts of people. And when they go home, they torture you and make your life a living hell. But they keep you weak, so weak that you can't get out of the relationship. And this happens all the time. So it's not a matter of how long your narcissist ex has been in their new relationship. It doesn't matter if they dated you and discarded you and then married their new supply within 3 months and now they have a house and cars and kids. It doesn't matter. That relationship is doomed to fail, and I feel sorry for their new spouses because what they're going through is exactly what we went through. The narcissists do not change. They just mutate and they become more intelligent as the more data that they're able to extract, skills that they're able to learn. But inside, they still do not have a soul. They are still dead inside. Okay? Don't ever, ever forget that. Let that be as your guiding light towards recovery. Put these monsters, these psychopath monsters behind you. Do not look back. Do not entertain any thoughts that their new supply is better than you or even worse than you. These aren't human beings. There's no need to compare. The only person you should be comparing yourself to is to who you were before, and hopefully today you're better than yesterday. Thanks for sticking around with me. Thanks for all the love and support you guys leave in the comments. Thanks for sharing with one another. If you like this video, drop a like so we can get some more exposure on YouTube, so we can continue to expose these psychopath narcissist monsters. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, go ahead and subscribe right now. And don't forget to grab your free ebook at the link below in the description, or you can visit my website, psychopathexposure.com/ebook. If you have any more questions, again, drop them below in the comments. Let me know what you guys are going through. And I'm really inspired to hear what you guys got out of this video. If we're seeing eye to eye in regards to just moving forward, not looking back, and not comparing ourselves to whoever the narcissist ex is grooming and destroying right now, because it really doesn't matter. Be good to yourselves. Love yourselves. This is Kira with Psychopath Exposure, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video.